Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. In this video, I'll build authentication API. Yeah. So I'll use my own backend framework for this. We'll define a contract once and we'll get .rpc and also REST API from the same endpoint and same controller. Our user model will store inside our SQL database for now, and we will use Drift as our ORM, and password will be hashed with Bcrypt, and successfully signed up or logged in will return a JWT token. By end of this video, we will have our RPC method auth sign up and auth login, and we will get also REST API for sign up and login. With our framework for REST API, it will generate documentation with Scalar, and it will also generate API client for RPC. So it's very simple. You write one method and it will generate both RPC and REST API. Now let's take a look at our file and folder structure. Inside bin, we have our main server file, and inside lib, we'll find our module folder, app, which will include all those modules and a basic export. So inside the module, if we take a look, we will find all those endpoint related thing, and inside DTO we have all those model, and inside this module file we'll define all those controller, provider, and export, and inside our service we'll write our business rules. Inside code we'll find all those Drift related database setup. I'm using SQLite for now, as you can see, and here we have our table definition. We'll keep each responsibility separate. DTOs define and validate the API contract, the service own authentication logic, the controller exposes that logic to RPC, the module connects dependency injection, and the app module imports that feature. Now let's take a look at our dependency. .orpc provides the annotation, HTTP runtime, generated routing, and dependency injection. Freeze and JSON serializable generate immutable JSON models. Luther generate request validation. Basic validation. Drift provides a type SQLite layer. Bcrypt will hash our password, and Dart JSON web token will create our JWT token. Now let's take a look at our database table. Here you can see I have created a user table. The database stores a normalized unique email and password hash. We never stored the original password, and the tree generate the type query and the user data class from this table definition. This example began at schema version 1, as you can see here, and in our existing app, implement the schema version and add a migration instead of deleting the database. Now let's take a look at our auth module. Inside auth module, as you already know, you'll find controller, DTOs, module, and services. So inside DTO, as you can see, we defined some model, and those DTOs are the public object. Validation happened before our controller execute anything. As you can see, we are expecting this field as a valid email, and we annotate this is email annotation. So Here also you can see we annotate some other stuff for our password field, like has minimum 8 character and max 72 character, and password must contain at least one letter and one number with our database. Notice that the response user uses a separate details like auth response detail. It deliberately exposes only the ID, name, and email, not the password, as we can hide this thing from our public data. Now let's talk about env variables. From .env files, we can map all those values in a type-set variables. So we can define our variable like this, and we can map our values. And if we take a look inside our server file, we load the env and we bind with our context, so that from context we can access our env variable like this. Now let's talk about the actual process, how sign up and login is working. So first of all, we are just doing some basic normalization, and we are checking if this user already exists or not with this email. If not, then we are just getting new user and returning with a valid JWT token. Here we are defining our payload, and with our secret we are creating new token and just returning our auth response, what we have defined inside our details. Similarly, for login, we are doing a normalization. We're checking if user is exist or not. We're checking our password with decrypt and just creating the response. Now let's talk about the controller. So here you will find, like, we're annotating our method with RPC method, and this is the main thing that will generate our RPC and REST API. So here we can name, or it will just pick the method name for RPC method. So, and here you can see we're creating our controller with name. So for the RPC one, it will be like auth.signup or this signup. And for REST API path, we're just defining the method and what will be the endpoint. And we can also add our tag for OpenAPI. And if you notice, like, we have here a context and what type of input we will pass here. Like, it can be a normal input or it can be a path input like this. So for the RPC input, it's equivalent to body for REST API. And we're just taking all those value and we're passing inside our service. If we take a look at our service method, it's just expecting an input and an app environment variable. Same goes for the login endpoint. Here we're defining our name and what will be the return and what we will take as input. Now let's talk about the dependency injection. Here you can see we are creating a simple class and annotate with our module where we provide controllers and providers. So what service we need for, make sure everything is working, we will provide here as service. And then and then we will bootstrap this module inside our app1 as import. The module tells the generator how to construct the feature that ORPC provides the database to auth service, inject the service into controller, and registers both methods where auth module is imported by the root app. From our project file, we already can say that our framework rely on build runner. As you can see, we have generated file. Here also you will find a ORPC generated file and freeze generated one. So for that, we need to run our build runner so that our app can generate all the stuff. In a good scenario, I prefer like ignore all those generated file. So let's run our build runner and let's see if it is working or not. Successfully build our generated file. So at this moment, we can run our application and it will just work fine. So let's test this app. We have a CLI. So it's start ORPC, and if you write serve, we'll just serve the app, or you can just run this server file with dart run. I'm using the CLI right now. So let's see. As you can see, our app is running at port 3000, and if I open this one, it'll say no, not found, because like we don't have any route at root. Anything, we don't have anything. So, and you all also can see like we set up our documentation. It will automatically set up our Swagger documentation at docs. So if you type docs, it will open our scalar, and here you will see all those type set thing and documentation, like what this thing expecting and what it will return, all those stuff. And also here you can find all those details. So if you want to try this application, like all those endpoint, you can do it from here. Let's try to sign up first. Okay, so I'll use a random email. Because we're not verifying our email, so there will be no problem. So as name, I'll submit my name, and as password, let's say simple @pass 12345. So we have to remember this so that I can log in. So let's run conflict and account. This email already exists. Okay, so database is not empty. So try this one. Yes, as you can see, we got our response without JWT token and expire in and user information. So if we try to log in with the same information, maybe I'll just copy this one. I'll go back and sign in test. I'll just remove this thing, and I'll try to make a request. Let's see. See, we're getting the response properly with a valid access token. Yeah, so that was the video. So I hope you like that. If you don't like, then just put a comment where I can improve. You already can see like I'm very nervous. I don't know how to create video, and I am not very good at speaking English. And just try to create my first video. It was exciting. I hope next time I'll try to improve where I found my lackings. Let's see. And next time I'll try to create a Flutter application with this sign in and sign up API. I'll showcase how to use the generated RPC client with Flutter, so that without writing any API code and any model, you can type safe manner. You can just make API call and yeah, connect with our database. So I'll try to create that video and hope I'll improve, and my framework will also improve. So I already found an issue like our controller method don't support a void method, can say, or we cannot return any primitive value from our controller. So most probably I'll update our package, uh, you know, so that we can support this kind of stuff. So that was the main purpose of this dog feeding. Let's find out what was the problem, how can we solve, and yeah, if it is production ready or not. So it is not production ready, and it will take time, but I'm just trying to find out all those bugs and all those issues. So thank you everyone. Thanks if you still with me, and I'm very glad I made this video. Yeah. Thanks and bye.